So we just talked about Tucker Carlson's interview with Vladimir Putin and how the fallout from that has been kind of tough on Tucker. It's been kind of tough. He was asked why he didn't ask a question about Navalny. And he was basically like, because anybody in U.S. media would have already asked that. And yeah, Putin is a killer, but killers kill, leaders kill. It is what it is. And then like the very next day, Navalny gets killed. Terrible timing. And it also is the day after Tucker released all these like fluff pieces on Russia where he's like, look at how clean the subway is. Look at how low the prices are in the grocery store. Don't look at the fact that it's a much higher percentage of the average Russian's wage than it is compared to America. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. But oh, look at how low the prices are. It's embarrassing. Like the whole thing was embarrassing. Well, guess what? Again, soon after Tucker leaves Russia, soon after the interview, now we get this story. Police called to investigate alleged LGBTQ plus propaganda at Russian My Little Pony convention. Organizers say police in Moscow were called to investigate alleged LGBTQ plus propaganda at a fan event dedicated to the cartoon series My Little Pony. Police in Moscow were called to investigate alleged LGBTQ plus propaganda at a fan event dedicated to the cartoon series My Little Pony, organizers said Sunday. The Mia Moore convention was closed by organizers early Saturday after officers arrived at the venue in the Russian capital, despite police being unable to find evidence of illegal activity. Quote, the police received a complaint claiming that our event promoted non-traditional relationships and related symbols, adult content for minors, and general horror and darkness. Yeah, that's always how I describe a My Little Pony convention. It promotes horror and darkness and adult content for minors. Event organizers wrote on Russian social media site VK Sunday, 2 police checks did not uphold these complaints. They said police initially asked them to shutter the event a few hours earlier than originally planned, but that organizers decided to close the convention earlier still after hearing unconfirmed reports of more officers heading toward the venue. Both organizers and volunteers were able to leave without incident, they said. The convention, which features an animated horse with a mane styled in the colors of the Russian flag as its logo, catered to My Little Pony subset of adult fans and planned to feature live music performances as well as stalls selling merchandise. How horrible. Although aimed at children and focused on the magical power of friendship, My Little Pony has previously prompted anxiety in Russia, with some fearing that the show could run afoul of the country's anti-LGBTQ plus legislation. Russian movie database Kinopoisk changed its ratings for the animated series to an adult-only 18 plus in December 2023. Local news outlet reported not long after a Russian court declared the global LGBTQ plus movement to be an extremist organization. Although no reason was given for the change, viewers speculated that the decision could be linked to the character Rainbow Dash, whose multicolored mane and tail are similar to the LGBTQ plus pride flag. The show also released an episode that featured a same-sex couple in 2019. The Russian Supreme Court banned what the government called the LGBTQ plus movement in Russia in November 2023, labeling it an extremist organization. The ruling was part of a crackdown on LGBTQ plus people in the increasingly conservative country where traditional family values have become a cornerstone of President Vladimir Putin's 24-year rule. Russian laws prohibit public displays of symbols of extremist organizations, and at least 3 people who displayed rainbow-colored items have received jail times or fines since the ruling. So they have the convention, the cops show up. We've heard about illegal gay activities and general horror and darkness. And then they were told, you got to shut this event a couple hours early. And then they were on their way to come back after they left, and the organizers had to shut down the thing completely. Yeah, not the week to do the fluff piece where you act like, oh my goodness, this country, so clean, so amazing. They really embrace freedom. Does this look like freedom to you? Banning My Little Pony for being too gay. This world's lost its goddamn mind, man. This world has lost its goddamn mind. I hate to say it, but I've become a skeptic of the idea that the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. Now I just think it's fucking chaos and mayhem, and the arc of history does whatever the fuck it wants to do. Sometimes it goes in a decent direction, sometimes it goes in a bad direction. But right now, it certainly feels like it's going in a bad direction in many places around the world, including in Russia. Navalny getting murked. Banning anything affiliated with rainbow colors because it's so gay. Oh, my God. What are we going to do, man? What are we going to do with these people? Look, it's goofy and it's silly, but it's also deeply disturbing and authoritarian. And my heart goes out to everybody in that country who's under this boot, because it's unacceptable. Never mind if you're actually gay and trying to live your life, that's hard enough. But now it's on some Salem witch hunt trial shit where it's like, I see rainbow colors, therefore you got to shut the convention. Like, Jesus Christ. No fun for anybody. That's apparently the reality. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.